What is up, YouTube? Lamont at large here. I am coming to you at the Texas State Cemetery here in Austin, Texas. I'll explain a little bit about this cemetery. This isn't just any normal cemetery that you could just kind of come to and put your family members. No, this cemetery is only for prominent Texans. For instance, you were a politician for a certain amount of years. You contributed to Texas culture in some form or fashion. Or you were basically let in because you provided some kind of service and just really contributed to the shape of this great state of Texas. There's a few people prominent that are buried here. So we're going to go show some graves and take a look around the cemetery. So come on with me. Let's go. This is the grave of Tom Landry. When most people think of an NFL football coach, this man should come to mind the very first thought. Mr. Landry was the original coach of the Dallas Cowboys. He coached them for 29 seasons. He is known for his trademark fedora, if you watch old NFL films. A couple things you didn't know about this guy. He's also a World War II vet. I believe when he was 18 years old, they got a telegram at the home saying that his older brother had been killed in action overseas. So he did what any red-blooded American man would do. He enlisted into the Army. He was a pilot, and he flew several bombing missions in France. He was piloting a plane that ran out of fuel, crash landed, but everybody made it out okay. A lot of people wonder why this man always wore that fedora. It's because he wanted to have a business look to him, because he thought to himself, hey, I'm not always going to be an NFL coach. This will soon end, and I'm going to need to be perceived as business-like. Well, things worked out for him in that way, where he didn't need to do that, because he had a long career with the Dallas Cowboys organization. Also, he was a football player. He played for a few seasons for the New York Giants, and also he was a baseball player. He played one season with the Yankees. Truly a man that is cut from a different cloth right here. And you don't see many of these types of men anymore. This is the grave of Allen Shivers. He was the governor of Texas from 1949 to 1957. So this right here is the grave of Stefan F. Austin. He is the father of Texas. He is the one that colonized it here. And he is also the namesake of the city that we are currently in, Austin, Texas. Before, it was incorporated under the name Waterloo, but they thought better of it and they changed it to Austin after this man. He was 43 years old when he died in 1836 of pneumonia. The Honorable Sarah Weddington, elected official, top assistant to the U.S. President, author, professor, advocate for women. As you can see right before you, she has a lot of achievements. This is Hipólito Garcia. He is the first Mexican-American appointed to the federal bench in the Western District of Texas. Josiah Wilbarger held the rank of colonel in Indian Wars in Kentucky in 1820, immigrated to Missouri in 1821 and to Texas in 1827, lived for 12 years after being scalped by Indians in what is now Travis County in 1833. Wilbarger Company was named for the two early pioneer brothers, Josiah and Matthias Wilbarger. This is James E. Ferguson with his wife, Miriam Ferguson. He was the governor of the state of Texas from 1915 to 1917. This is a sculpture of Albert Sidney Johnston. He was Secretary of War for the Republic of Texas, and he was mortally wounded in the Battle of Shiloh in 1862. So the sea of graves that you see in front of you, these are the men and widows of the men who fought in the Civil War for the Confederacy. Billy P. Arhos, founder, Austin City Limits, the longest running music series in American television history. Willie James Wells, also known as El Diablo, played and managed in the Negro Leagues 1924 to 1948, began his career with the St. Louis Stars, and became baseball's first power-hitting shortstop. He was an 8-time All-Star for the Stars and teams in Chicago and Newark. Also Wells starred in Canada, Cuba, Mexico, and Puerto Rico. He was inducted into the Cuban and Mexican Halls of Fame. He was best known for his aggressive play. During his career, he compiled a .392 batting average against Major League ball players. In 1997, Willie Wells was inducted into the National Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York, joining other Negro League greats. The Honorable Irma Lerma Rangel, beloved daughter, sister, and aunt, educator and attorney, Texas' first Mexican-American female legislator, Texas Representative, 43rd District, 1976 to 2003. Once again, Chris Kyle, American Sniper, the legend himself. I did a video, of course, on this channel about him. He was a patriot and a hero, and there's no telling how many American lives he saved. This is Major League Baseball player Don Baylor. If you're a baseball fan, you definitely know his name. He had quite a career. He played almost 20 years in the majors. He was also a coach, and he was on the 1987 Minnesota Twins World Series championship team. In memory and honor of those Texans who perished in the tragic events of September 11, 2001, and the brave Texas heroes of Operation Enduring Freedom. I'm almost at a loss for words. I've never seen this ever before. This used to be a steel beam that held up a fabulous structure where people worked, did business, got promoted, got hired, ate lunch with their friends. This was a piece of the World Trade Center, and on September 11th, 2001, evil men with evil intentions crashed into the World Trade Center, and this was salvaged from the wreckage. These steel beams right here. All the lives that this structure held and secured, and to be taken away in such a brutal fashion. You know, I implore everybody, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, I implore everybody. We forget as people, we forget about tragedies, and a lot of us were born after September 11th of 2001, but I sometimes like to just go and watch old news footage of that ominous day that I'll never forget. That I'll never forget. People faced with the realization of their own demise at hand. I'll never forget looking at the people on top of the building. They're standing out the window. Either you jump to your death 110 stories down, or you burn, choking on that thick black smoke. And well over 100 people took their own faith and put it in the hands of God and jumped. So when you guys see this, let's not forget, because that was a very, very horrible day. A lot of prominent Texans here, a lot of famous people, a lot of people that have a story here. But my passion is more of people that are not so prominent, people that were not famous. I go around telling their stories, or at least I'm trying to. This channel is a work in progress. There's also another grave here that I will come back and do a story on him. A story that you may or may not believe, depending on where your mind is when it comes to who we are as humans and the universe in general. So I'll come back here and later this week and possibly do that. Anyways, guys, I'm Lamont. Thank you for watching. Thumbs me up, thumbs me down. I read all comments. If you ever need to email me, lamont@large@gmail.com. Anyways, live, but not live, but I'm still alive by the grace of God. I am at the Texas State Cemetery. Thank you for watching. Peace out.